This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to the Onside Kick. My name is Ricky Widmer, and as always, I'm joined by the Mark Weber.
Dub them ease.
And this week, you guys get two podcasts. Two podcasts right at the same time, back to back, as the Primetime Podcast and the Onside Kick airing the same
We're
day.
just so excited. We're just so excited for another year of the Onside Kick.
And I mean, I was going to bring that up. You say another year of the Onside Kick. Before we get into anything, I mean, this is it. Do we have to sing happy birthday to the podcast?
They are supposed to sing to us.
The listeners are supposed to sing to us.
Post your videos on Twitter, on your YouTube.
I like that.
Twitter us, tweet at us.
Reaction videos.
And sing us some songs.
Yeah.
Sing us some happy birthday.
Sing us some happy birthday. I mean, the Onside
Which is,
Kick, we've been
I believe,
around for a
is
while.
no longer copyrighted.
No, it's not.
So
They
you
took
can
it away.
sing it now, and without being sued.
And you can put react in the title.
Yeah, do
or
that.
a reaction to Onside Kick birthday. Hashtag Onside Kick birthday.
That's a long hashtag.
There we go. Or what do they call it? The podcast-iversary or something?
These are all really long hashtags.
They try to make like some word. I'm not saying hashtag that. I'm just saying, what do they call it? The podcast-iversary or something?
I don't know if that's a thing, but we just called it that.
The first Onside Kick, just for you guys, a little trivia knowledge. The first Onside Kick I recorded, Mark, you were not there.
Nope.
It was me, Dave Oster, and Brandon Swanson in Dave's basement.
On the couch.
And it was right after Eli Manning beat Tom Brady for the second time.
Yeah.
That was it. That was
what's
the Super
really
Bowl
confusing about the Manning brothers now? Is
now they're both
called
equal?
they're both called equal Manning. So which one are you talking about? The one that's still playing or the one that's retired?
Eli's still better in my book because he's perfect.
100%.
He's 100%. Peyton's only finished half of his plate.
Yep. That's what I was telling Ricky, that Thanksgiving dinner, Eli's going to sit there and go, hey, Peyton, I finished 100% of my plate. Looks like you've only finished 50% of yours.
Well, we got a jam-packed podcast today, and I say it every week, but we're going to be talking some Super Bowl topics, as we've got Cam Newton and Peyton Manning. We both got to talk about the quarterbacks. And then in the middle is what the podcast is named, but we're putting it in the middle this week. We got Todd McShay mock draft. You can also go ahead. I'm going to leave a link down in the description to my 2.0 mock draft, as I am the Todd McShay for MVP. So, boom, you get a mock draft. You get us talking about mock draft. But the first thing we are going to talk about, Mark, is Cam Newton. And the big thing revolving around Cam Newton is the main part is the presser after the Super Bowl. You can tell he was upset. I'll be honest. I'm never going to be in that situation. I am never going to know
You're
what
never
it's
going to
like
lose a Super Bowl, Ricky?
to lose a Super Bowl at the age of 26. As me and Cam are the same age.
It's basically too late. Yeah.
It's too late. I am living vicariously through.
If you were to
Cam
somehow
Newton.
make it on an NFL team that goes to the Super Bowl, you will be 27. You'll never know how it was to be 26.
I
in
would
the Super
be
Bowl.
the extension cord holder, but too late. They don't have any more of those because everything is wireless. But in the presser, the thing, and I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. And I mean, I'm not one of like the critics for Cam Newton that's like, see, I told you so. This is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I just saw it and was like, dude, this was your opportunity. This was your opportunity to graciously, I mean, it is, don't get me wrong, it is hard to graciously accept losing. You don't know how many times in my video game career that gonna lose the game, but it restarted. I don't know what happened. It restarted.
Whoops.
Oh no, it got unplugged from the wall. So I kind of, and on the flip side, I'm like, okay, I kind of know what you're going through, but at the same time, the demeanor, the hood being up, the like smirks on the face, it looked like he wasn't looking people in the eye. My big thing was you missed your chance, Cam. You missed your chance. And what everyone's mostly angry at is him walking away. Why he walked away, we don't know. We have an idea. But what did you think after seeing that press conference from Cam Newton?
To kind of put it into perspective here, and my opinions on it, he played like shit. Mm-hmm. We can put that out there. He played badly, but team game, that offensive line, if you thought Cam Newton played bad, that offensive line played worse.
Or did Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware just want it more? Cliches, Mark. Did they just want it more?
You remember my reason why I picked the Denver Broncos to win
the defense.
Was because, defense and because Peyton Manning gave that team something a little extra to play for. That's just what happens. Now, the offense was terrible. When Cam Newton, you could tell he was nervous from the beginning. He was overthrowing it. He was throwing above. Everything was a jump ball.
He's putting some heat on his passes, too.
And when
Brett Favre heat.
When they got to a receiver, this group of scrubs he's got out there, they dropped it. This game proved that Cam Newton and the defense have been carrying, and Jonathan Stewart have been carrying this team for a while.
Yeah.
This team did not look like they deserved to be there, essentially, in this playoff game. And Cam Newton was frustrated. Now, my first response to Ricky Widmer when he texted me our topics today was, half jokingly, if Tom Brady was reacting this way, people would call him passionate.
Well, I'll be honest. I'll throw it out there. Originally, when I texted you, this wasn't even on the docket. We had Marshawn Lynch retiring on the docket ahead of this. And then I went home, I watched the videos, and I was like, no. This needs to be
This is
in.
what the ladies and the gentlemen want to hear.
Well, not just that. I'll be honest. This is kind of like what you guys want to hear right now is everyone's talking about it, but it just passionately rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And at first, there's a reason why if you looked at my Twitter and if you were one of the people that followed me, you didn't see me tweet anything after the Super Bowl about it. Because the thing is, we live in a time now where, I saw something, I need to react to it. But I was like, you know what? It rubbed me the wrong way. I'm going to get to talk about it tomorrow, which would be right now. And part of me is like, we don't know the full story.
Yeah.
Because at first, the first video I saw, I couldn't hear what the reporter said. To me, it sounded like he was saying something about confidence in the locker room, and that wasn't even true.
Yeah, the questions were kind of dumb, so Cam Newton, he's visibly frustrated. The moment you can see it best, I believe, it was the fourth quarter, is when he's almost getting sacked in the end zone. He throws the ball away. He gets that hit, which he wanted
where he kept the pad out.
Yeah, he wanted it to be called a late hit, but it wasn't really much of a late hit.
It could have been called a late hit. Let's be honest.
It could have been, but it's pretty close. Pretty close call there. I wouldn't have called it if I was the ref. And he visibly upset, visibly frustrated on the field. That's kind of what my joking, if it was Tom Brady, people would just call him passionate type of moment. But people want, especially after the game we've watched, multiple fumbles and interception, one of those fumbles leading to the fumble recovery for 6, people wanted to hate on Cam. People have been wanting to hate on Cam.
Well, I'm gonna throw a line out there that Chris Carter was the first to say it. And now numerous ESPN personalities are using the same thing. With this press conference, he gave his critics the fuel to the fire. He could have silenced every single critic.
He could have.
Coming into this Super Bowl that, you know what, the flashy quarterback of Cam Newton, he dances too much, he dabs too much, this and that. He could have came in, been gracious, said
but
STFU,
the thing is,
gave him the middle finger and walked out.
When has that ever once been Cam Newton? Point me a time in his career where he ever has done that. And that's part of the reason people are criticizing. But the thing I want to say is, 2 weeks ago, we were just praising him for being a different kind of quarterback, for giving us the dab, for giving us the smile, for being this guy who's finally different, who's not going to sit there and give us Bill Belichick one-word answers that don't answer our questions.
He basically did. He gave us one-word answers.
Yes, but I'm saying he's not going up there doing the typical quarterback. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not going up there and saying, well, you guys lost. Why did you lose? Well, the other team was just a good team, and it just wasn't our day. He's not giving that answer. He's giving it from the heart because that's who he's always been.
But he didn't give it from the heart. He's
upset.
Well,
how is that not from the heart?
Upset, but when you're
how is
sitting there
that
going,
not from the heart?
He basically gave the same thing on the other side of they outplayed us.
Because why
they
though?
outplayed us.
Why though? Because he's upset. When you're upset because you just got dumped or you just got fired or you just, got rejection of whatever way, you're not sitting there saying, well, let me pour all this out there. You're going, I don't want to talk about it right now. You come at me tomorrow and we'll talk. Right now, I don't want to talk about it. Who was it? I don't remember who it was, but it might not even been football. But a couple years ago or something, there was one of these big moments where the common question was, why do we even make the losing team get up there and answer questions? Like, what a slap in the face to that coach, to that quarterback, to that receiver that fell. For the Seahawks example, Malcolm Butler made that amazing catch. But the receiver who didn't catch it feels pretty bad, right?
Doug Baldwin.
Yeah. Or the
curse, I think it was.
Or in that case, Russell Wilson throwing the interception. Now Russell Wilson went up there and he, spoke very kindly from what I remember.
See, and that's where...
But it's just kind of a slap to the face of the opposing team.
I agree with, and to me, I can't...
And I'm not excusing that
and
either.
To me,
we'll get to that too.
You too, I can't talk of like I've actually been there. I will never be there to where I have a disappointing moment and someone
on
shoves
that grand scale.
Yeah, and someone shoves a microphone. Like, I'm talking at all. Like, if a girl dumps me, no one's going to shove a microphone in my face right after it happens. Like, that's where I am in life. The worst that I may get is that, like, I say something on Twitter and someone comes after me for it.
Two things with this is that, one, this was probably, and I hate to say this because this is such a privileged thing to be able to say for Cam Newton, but this was probably the worst day of his life. He lost the biggest game he's ever played on the biggest scale. Millions of people were watching this. To him, and I know this sounds so privileged,
I'm going to say
but that is probably the worst day of his life.
I'm going to actually go ahead. Maybe as of right now it seems like it, but for me looking outside in, I would say it's second worst. And that may shock people, but to me, the worst day in Cam Newton's life, to me, looks like, and I'm not Cam Newton, so...
Yeah, neither one of us can say
wrong,
the truth or not.
But for me, if it was me, the worst day of my life is if I left high school, most likely to succeed, fuck you guys, I'm giving you the finger because I'm better than you, going to go to Florida and do great things, and then I get kicked out of Florida for stealing laptops, and basically I come home, and I'm the butt of everyone's joke. That, to me... would be, and I mean, now
I would
it's
call
like,
that personally. That would be my second worst.
That to me would be the worst because I was supposed to be so great,
but the scale
not.
is not as big.
Well, and that's why I said surprisingly because the Super Bowl's on a big enough scale. I agree.
I have a number two as well for this.
1 second. I just the thing I was trying to get at that I just wanted to throw out there was the thing that, and Chris Carter said it, and he could say it because he played in the league. He's like, I lost in 2 NFC championships. I never went to the Super Bowl, but it's a part of the business of the NFL that when you lose, you have to go out there and not be, you don't have to be gracious, but you have to, in air quotes, play the game.
Yeah.
You can't go out there and act like this.
This is a great kind of lead-in that you're using that I'm going to pause on really quick. Because I do want to give credit to Marshall Faulk going out there and saying, hey, I've been in those shoes. I've lost a Super Bowl before.
To Tom Brady.
Yeah, I have lost, and it sucks. You guys don't know how badly it sucks. I'm not going to judge Cam Newton. I don't agree with what he's doing, but I'm not going to judge him. And those aren't his words exactly, but that's basically the gist of what he was saying. Pretty much right. I think it was right after the Super Bowl he was saying this. So I respect that because we all can say these things. Skip Bayless can say these things, take your favorite talking head. They can say all of this, but none of us know, and none of us are in those shoes. I don't want to use my leading because I know you're looking up for the Marshall Faulk quote.
No, I'm not.
Now.
I was looking up for basically what we got from Cam, and you guys have already seen it, but I want to say it right now is they're like, what's your message for Panther fans? We'll be back. I heard that. I'm like, good. I like that. Lead off of that. But then it was just stuff like, no, got outplayed, bro. The things that I didn't like were when someone said, did you see anything that you didn't expect? And he says, they just played better than us. I don't know what you want me to say, because hearing that, I'm like, oh, dude, you're getting defensive. And I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. I will never, and I can't say enough, I will never feel that pain in my life. Mm-hmm. But you can't come off like that. You cannot come off like that. The last question he was asked before he said, I'm done, was, I know you're disappointed, not just for yourself, but for your teammates. It's got to be really tough, though. It wasn't even a question. To me, the best question that he messed up on was someone asked, what did Ron Rivera tell you after the game? He told us a lot of things. And someone asked about Ron Rivera made a comment right here. Ron Rivera said Denver 2 years ago had a tough time, and they bounced back. Do you take that to heart? And the way he said no, I'm like, oh, you... Like, if I was not in your corner, I would fucking hate you right now. But you are lucky I'm in your corner, and I am not going to hate you because you look like a spoiled brat. That's what I was thinking. You look like a spoiled brat.
I think the best question that you could use in this thing is, can you put into word, or to use to say, like, this is just ridiculous, is can you put into words the disappointment you feel right now? His answer is, we lost.
It's
you know, but and I will say
to be honest though, go ahead. And
I will say that Cam Newton should have handled this better, probably. No, I don't necessarily know what people expect, and I think that it's to expect him to act like Peyton Manning when he's never once in his entire life acted like Peyton Manning's a little stupid. You're setting yourself up for disappointment, but he could have handled this better. And he didn't, and we'll get into some other things with other players in a little bit too.
I want to throw this out. Before I came to, because we're podcast 2 in a row of me, because I had to record the Primetime podcast before this. But before I came to the Primetime podcast today, I was watching the Doug Gottlieb show, which I never do. I'm not really a huge fan of Doug, but today I am, because he played Real Big Fish. I'm starting to like Doug now because he likes Real Big Fish, so cool. I can respect that. But he was talking about this because his biggest thing was today. He's like, you know what? Today, we're just going to talk Super Bowl. Because he goes, this is the only day in America where I can come out and say, hey, remember that play where the Broncos punter did this, and then the Broncos player caught it and ran, and they thought he fair caught it? Now, he's like, I'm not even using names, but everyone in America could go, oh, yeah, I remember that play. I forgot about it, but I remember. He's like, this is the only day where everybody watched one football game. And the one thing he said about Cam that was the best was, he goes, he said these questions are shit. The question he's like, I wanted them to ask was, why the fuck didn't you, and I'm obviously not saying it like Doug, I'm saying it in my own words, but why the fuck didn't you dive on the ball? Why didn't you give it all you got instead of saying, nope, don't want to get hurt?
By that time, he knew the game was done.
Oh, yeah, but no.
He was out. He was checked out.
You're on the biggest stage. You got to give it all you got. That's the question. And I'm like, yeah, I want to know that. Why didn't you dive on the ball?
I want to know
Cam?
why his receivers weren't giving it all they got. Why they didn't catch the ball. Defense, they gave it all they had. They tried their damned hardest to stop.
Good.
They tried their damned hardest to stop Peyton Manning, and they basically did.
One offensive touchdown,
and that was only because they got right there. They were right there. Defense tried their hardest.
A penalty and a turnover got them into that. That defense for Carolina did great.
They did everything they could.
They couldn't have done even better.
No,
they couldn't have done better.
The thing that I do want to say with Cam Newton, and my biggest frustration, like I said, I think Cam Newton should have been better. Now, I think everyone set themselves up for disappointment, like I said. Why do you expect him to talk like Peyton Manning when the man's never done it? But he's 26 years old, and like I said, just had probably the first or second worst day of his life on national TV. Once again, super privileged to say that, but he's just had the worst day of his life on national TV, and everyone's going to criticize him. He knows this. He's never once proven, or he acted like Cam Newton usually will kind of act. Heart on the sleeve. He's going to show it how he feels inside. He's showing you that. He feels very disappointed. But the thing that kind of also bugs me is, one, just 2 weeks ago, everyone's praising him for that, and now we're criticizing him for it. Two, just a few years ago, and before the podcast, Ricky, I apologize, it was not 2 years ago. It was when Peyton Manning lost in the Super Bowl to the Saints, not to the Seahawks. What did Peyton Manning do instead? He did not go in at the end of the game, shake hands. he left immediately. He jogged off the field.
How old was he, though, at that time?
That was 6 years ago.
So
he was older than
okay.
older than Cam Newton. By a fair amount. Older by about 7 years.
But that was also the thing with Peyton is I think Broncos Peyton is even more mature than Colts Peyton.
Well, he's 40.
Because
nearly. He's 39.
Not just that, but Colts Peyton was top of the world. Either number
just
one
like
or
Cam Newton was.
Number one, number two, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Because it was either, hey, who do you think's the best quarterback? It's either Peyton or Tom Brady. Then the next surgery happened. I feel like after he left Indy,
he got humbled.
Peyton got a little bit more humble, and as he got even older in his 30s, he has this sense where it's like, you know what, life is life.
Sure,
I'm not going to be too hard on it.
Doesn't that prove the point of why are we all criticizing Cam Newton so much? The kid's 26. He's in his mid-20s. Peyton Manning, we're talking about a guy who was probably 33 years old at the time of that Super Bowl and runs off. Nobody said shit. We can talk about, I forget who it was that LeBron James was playing in the playoffs.
Dallas.
Where
first one they lost in Miami, Dallas.
Same thing. People did criticize LeBron a little bit.
LeBron was a little immature at that time.
Not at
though.
this time. Not at the same level as Cam Newton's.
You got to think about then the thing that's different with that is that NBA Finals. LeBron was coming off of the decision, which he regrets, but he was coming off the decision, and I like Cam, but you know it was the best internet just poke that I saw at Cam, and I saw it on Twitter, and it was great. Someone just posted a tweet on my timeline that was just like, oh, too bad, Cam. Too bad they don't make Band-Aids for feelings.
It's true. It is sad they don't.
It's his commercial.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, oh, like, and that, they posted that after the press conference. Like, too bad they don't make Band-Aids for feelings.
The reason I bring things like that up is I just want to say that, and I made the joke about if it was Tom Brady, we'd call it passion. But, and I say that because as a Chicago Bears fan, I've said that multiple times about Jay Cutler. Well, if it was Aaron Rodgers, they would call it passionate when he yells at his center for sucking so badly.
But it's kind of in the thing with Jay, and I'm just going to throw
well, it's because people
there.
don't like his face.
Well, it's not that.
Just like Cam Newton's, people don't like the way he acts.
He spends so much time not caring that when he does care, it's kind of hard to believe.
I think it's bullshit to say Jay Cutler spends so much time not caring. I get what you mean, but I think it's bullshit to say it.
It looks like he doesn't care.
Yeah. The man cares a shit ton. He takes insulin shots on the sideline. He cares that much. But the reason I bring those other players up is because it really just I want to put it into perspective that Cam Newton is not the first person to do this. Next thing I want to use with another player, I want to talk about Marshawn Lynch. I don't want to talk about him retiring just yet. I want to talk to him about him a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, or last year in the Super Bowl, too, for that matter. What was everybody saying about press conferences? If the man doesn't want to do a press conference, leave him alone. Don't make him do the press conference.
With Marshawn Lynch.
Well, Cam Newton didn't want to do a press conference. He got up and he left. Now, I understand the NFL has not fined Cam Newton, at least not yet, and they probably won't. But the man didn't want to do a press conference. If it was Marshawn Lynch, that was okay, because we liked Marshawn Lynch. If it's Cam Newton, suddenly it's bullshit that he got up he gave you 3 minutes. That's something. He gave you something. Yeah, it was kind of shitty. He didn't give you anything to work with, but neither did I'm just here so I don't get fined. So why is it for Marshawn Lynch, and I'm sure people in the comment section have all their reasons why it's not. Why is it that for Marshawn Lynch, it's okay for him to not want to do a press conference, but Cam Newton, the guy who just got beat on the biggest stage ever, oh, you didn't give us good enough answers. You didn't give us enough time. We are mad at you. Grow up. Does he need to grow up a little bit? Sure, but he's 26 years old. I don't care, people. This is my basically my final kibosh on it, although we can keep talking if you want. I don't care that people don't really like the guy. I'm a fan of Jay Cutler. I don't care that people don't like quarterbacks. I don't disagree that he could have acted this better. He could have done this better. Does he have more maturity that he needs? Sure. Can he mature more? Yeah, and he will. I'm sure he will. If he comes back to another Super Bowl, I'm sure he will learn lessons from this Super Bowl. and how he acted. Next time, I'm sure will be completely different. But with that being said, I think we all just need to calm down. Like, we're all just so passionate. Maybe it's because this Super Bowl was kind of boring.
It was everything. The commercials.
Weren't that great.
The halftime show
Coldplay was boring. The Coldplay, it wasn't bad, but it just, everything about the Super Bowl, not a single thing was bad. Everything just wasn't good.
I've got one final comment.
Well, just to finish that off really quick, I just think that people just need, we just need to calm down. We all just need to relax a little bit, understand where Cam Newton came from, understand that he could have done better, but let's stop crucifying the guy about it. Let's let him just relax and be a person.
I got one thing, and this is the only reason, like, this is the main thing, and I know they're two different players, but this is the main thing of, it's just, it happened a year ago, and it's, who was 26 last year and lost the Super Bowl?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. What did Russell Wilson do in that press conference?
He also had previously won a Super Bowl, though.
I know he had previously won, but it still sucks to lose that first one.
Yeah.
Took ownership. And I
can give him credit for that earlier.
You can say that, you know what, Ricky? It's because he already won one and Cam had not. I look at it as they're two different players.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton, it's you live by the sword, die by the sword kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. You love him because, honestly, he doesn't have the maturity to, like, I'll be honest, I'm in the same boat. I'm not the most mature person. Like, if I scored a touchdown to pick up a football 26? Game, I'm dancing, I'm doing the Superman, I'm doing the little, like, wave with my arm thing. But I'm not the face of a franchise. I'm not the guy who, like, 2 weeks ago, we were asking future of the NFL. When you're the future of the NFL, even though it sucks, you got to do things like what Russell Wilson did last year. And you can say it's because he already won one, but same age, same everything. The only thing is they're two different people.